All right, welcome to Module 2 of the MSP Video Academy. In this module, we're going to be covering content ideas. So, how are you going to come up with 30 videos, 30 live videos for the whole month? That is the big challenge here. I'm going to show you the system that I use to go live for a full 30 days. I take a break, I don't do this continuously, but you can repurpose these videos, which we'll show you in a future module. So once you've done the work, the hard work of these 30 videos, you can find you can use those videos in all sorts of other ways, which we'll go into. We're also going to be covering a bonus tip within this, so using the written words. So if you are a member of IT Rockstars, the content that you get every month, I'm going to show you a little bonus tip there. Third and most important, now this is probably the most important piece of the whole course at the MSP Video Academy, is the offer. We're going to be talking about what the offer is and why it is so important. And then finally, we're going to finish off this module with getting over the fear and actually hitting the record button on your phone. So that is what we're going to be covering in this module. I have no idea how long it's going to take to cover this, but we do have a lot of content to get through. We're just going to get stuck in right now. So we've already covered the 3 content pillars. So your homework from the last module, you should have some idea of what your content pillars are for your IT business, what they're going to be. And these content pillars are extremely important in helping you come up with content or topics for your videos. So the ones that we gave previously as an idea of what you could do, you might have something different, but the ones that we'll be displaying here aligns to most IT and MSP businesses. Be secure, be prepared, and be on the cutting edge. I would like to work for an MSP that has all of these 3 things as their pillars in their business, the reason they're in business. So we've got our content pillars, and we're going to these stepping stones. So the A to B approach that we covered in the last module, we're going to be going over some of the content in these stepping stones. So this is what this piece is all about here in module 2, is giving you some content that you can run with, or the formula that you can use to actually come up with your own content. So we're going to be covering 2 sets of stepping stones per content pillar here. So if we count it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 5. We've pretty much got 30 pieces of content potentially in here. So that covers the whole 30-day challenge. So we'll start with the first one, which is pillar number 1, be secure. So your current client is in a situation, or your potential clients, so the audience, your online audience, the people that are seeing your videos, are in a current situation, and they may be worried about phishing, and we want to get them so they're not worried about phishing. We want to make them a lot more confident about phishing emails that they might be getting. So we can make a series of videos helping them reach that state of being more confident about phishing emails. So in this example, we would maybe talk about multi-factor authentication and how it can help with phishing. So, and a really good example of this would be, okay, you're maybe getting a lot of phishing emails and your staff maybe aren't fully aware of phishing emails. They might have already clicked on some and passwords have been compromised. If you install multi-factor authentication across your IT environment, you'll find that even if someone does accidentally click a phishing email, they won't get past the MFA piece because they need to authenticate with their actual device. That would be a video right there, 90 seconds, 2 minutes. It's a really helpful bit of information that's going to help your audience and alleviate some of that pain. Second one we've got here is the number 1 flaw, no matter how much you spend. So this would be another video, and we're talking about, in this time, you could spend 20% of your whole company profits on IT security, and your system still won't be secure. And the reason for that is because the number 1 flaw in your IT security is not the systems that you're using, it's your staff and their awareness of what something like a phishing email looks like. And then you would talk about how your IT business helps with this by training, awareness sessions, that type of thing. You might even have something like the Know4 tool that does simulated phishing attacks, which is pretty cool. So that's a whole video right there. Then This is like a bonus. It's like a free bit of information that's going to help your audience. Okay, you're getting a lot of emails, a lot of spoofing emails, potentially phishing emails. If you run Office 365, you can quite easily enable Advanced Threat Protection, ATP. That's something that comes out of the box. It's free of charge. If you have Office 365, make sure it's on. If you need a hand with it, you can give us a shout, or obviously use your current IT provider. So it's a free bit of information, something that they can use and take away in their business. You can talk about the benefits of ATP. So you fill up these stepping stones, and then we get them to that more confident about phishing. So it promotes you or aligns you as being a trusted advisor, trusted technology advisor, as I put it. In this next example, we're going to be talking about worried about ransomware. So you have a potential audience that's worried about ransomware, and here are the stepping stones that you can use as videos to get them to the state where they're more confident about the protection they have against ransomware. So you would maybe talk about why backups are so important to protect your business. So if you do get hit by ransomware, you must make sure you have a good backup. And this is one that I always state is, okay, you've got a backup in place, but when was the last time you actually checked to restore a backup to make sure that actually works? I've seen that so many times in the past. So you may have a story yourself about this. Stories is really good in videos. User level access on the LAN. So that is, I can't remember the terminology you use, but you basically want to have users restricted on the local network. The reason for that, obviously, is local network drives that ransomware goes after. So you would maybe talk a little bit about that in the video and why it's so important to have the correct user access on your local domain, that type of thing, and how obviously your IT business can help put that in place. Then you talk about RMM patching. So you could talk about how you just have to look in the current news to see which government body or large organization has been hit by ransomware. You could go, look at them. They've got all this money and still they're being hit by ransomware. More than likely, it's because they haven't had the proper RMM tool or patching in place. You've been an MSP, you have an RMM tool, and you're patched all the time. Your systems are always up to date for your clients. Again, you're just alleviating that pain point with helpful information, and you're talking about it in a way that people can use and take away in their business. So they're maybe not going to go and they're not going to go and call you up and say, "Hey Scott, I want your RMM tool." They're maybe going to go and check with their current IT provider to see if they have an RMM tool. So you would suggest, make sure you have an RMM tool. The way that you find out if you do, this is how you do it. That's what you would do in the video. You're just trying to be as helpful as possible. And then that leads them to be more confident about ransomware. You've helped them with a pain point. So the more that you're helping them, you're building up that trust and authority with your online audience. Second pillar, be prepared. So insurance states that they need disaster recovery. So this is a really good one actually, and it's one that goes under the radar quite a lot. So a lot of businesses now have a cybersecurity insurance, but one of the things it states within the insurance is that they must have disaster recovery processes and system in place for that cyber essentials or cybersecurity insurance to be valid. It's something that's quite easily missed, so that's why I bring it up here. So that would be a video all within itself, just stating the fact that if you have cyber security insurance, that you need to have a disaster recovery. So it's a bit like checking your car insurance and making sure that you're not maybe you've had a fine or a speeding ticket in the last 5 years, but maybe you haven't told your insurance company about that. You've got to go and do it. Otherwise, if you do get hit, your insurance is null and void. It's the same thing with this. Our plan checklist. So some of the simple things that you can do to have a process in place for disaster recovery. A list of contacts. So the main contact in the emergency for the IT, for the internet service, how to reach people like Office 365, Microsoft, having a hard copy of that information. So if the systems are completely down, someone can open up a folder and it's right there. There would be a top 10 pretty much of the DR checklist. That would be a video. Then you go to DR tech solution. Okay, so you have the process in place. This is what you're going to do. But from a technology point of view, how are you going to recover your systems from a DR? So you could talk about some of the solutions that you provide. So if you were hit by a flood or a fire or a cyber threat and you had to recover your systems, this is how our technology can help recover. That would be a video. And then what the insurers want. Again, this is probably talking about what makes up the valid cybersecurity insurance, what insurers are looking for, how you will be covered against that. And it's not just about DR, it could also be about your data and where that's being stored. And then obviously that leads to the audience being more confident about having a good DR plan for their business. Next one we've got here, not happy with service. This is probably one of the most common ones why a potential customer will switch to a new IT supplier, is because they're currently not happy with the current service. And the way that you would help the audience get to a place where they were, you wouldn't probably want them to be happy with their current provider, but you would make them, and you don't want to try and make them less happy, you just want to show them the reality of the situation. The way that you can help them, show them the reality of the situation, how to avoid downtime. So one of the biggest things, if they're unhappy with their current provider, they may have downtime. So you can maybe state within a video, these are some of the best practices to put in place so that your systems aren't going to fall over. So like having a RAID 5 array on your server, so if a hard disk fails, it's swappable, you don't have to take the whole server down. That's a really good video right there. And people start to learn about RAID arrays at the same time. There's so many options with this though. I'm just giving you ones off the top of my head, but there are so many. And hopefully this system is allowing you to think like this. Okay, potential customers at point A, how do we help them get to point B? And these are the steps, which is the content for your videos. Next one would be 5 proactive checks. If you're currently unhappy with your current provider, make sure they're doing these proactive checks on your systems. So that would be, again, it would probably be something like patching, Windows updates. Proactive checks could also include just licensing. It could be going through unused licenses, making sure that you're getting the best value for money. So you may have users that have been disabled, but you're still paying for the licenses. That's the type of thing that should be covered by your current IT provider. And quick ways to resolve issues. This would maybe be stating the best way to resolve an issue, and it would really be talking about your service. In this video, we would maybe be talking about the quickest way to get to our help desk is actually through email, because it will go to our dispatcher who will put it to the right technician. Okay, the one that deals with that type of problem on a regular basis, knows how to fix them quickly. If you pick up the phone, maybe not as great. You're going to get through to our first level help desk guys, and they will attempt to fix it, but they may have to again go through the dispatcher and put it off the right technical person. So it's really talking about your service and the best way to get a quick resolution. Usually that's email for most of us anyway. Now obviously they see you as an option. So as I say, this is, okay, they're currently unhappy with the current provider, and then they see you as an option, as maybe someone that they'd want to speak to about providing IT services. Pillar number 3, being on the cutting edge. Your audience is maybe worried about their competitors and the types of technology their competitors are using. So this is a really good opportunity for you to talk about how you help with technology in this space. So this is more about the sort of the digital optimization, as I call it, but to give you an idea how we would help resolve this issue, this situation, is you would maybe talk about your account management meetings. Now, you wouldn't necessarily state that they're account management meetings, but every quarter you have a technology roadmap session with your clients. And this is really to look at the technologies that others are using in the industry and best practices. So what are the most agile companies in that same industry, and what are they doing? And you could do a little bit of research for that with your clients, and you could find out what they're doing, and then you can bring some of that back in. So that's one where there's a real sort of value. So the managed services IT support stuff, that's fairly easy and common to do, but this is where the value add is for you, is being able to do this type of stuff on top of it. And what are the agile companies doing? So it is the big question mark. Okay, maybe you've got a lot of accountancy firms. What's the most agile ones? How are they working in their business? How are they making things more efficient in their business? And it literally is all about efficiency with these. So it's quick wins for the client. So a really good example of that we'll show you later in one of these other stepping stones. And then you could maybe, a video could be something as general as this. It's quite a kind of high level video. So you'd maybe be talking about digital optimization versus digital transformation. Now, I'm not going into exactly what that is here in this module, but it's some of these more higher level things that are not technical and they maybe don't relate to your business, but they relate to the potential client and what they're trying to get out of technology. And then they see if you can outline these steps, then they will be happy with the future plans where their business is going. That's the whole goal with this. So that could actually be a video within itself, asking the question, are you happy with where your technology plan is for the next 5 or 10 years in your business? Do you even know what that looks like? That's a really good video, and you're actually just putting that question in a video to your audience. And then you're maybe talking about some of these stepping stones finally and how you would get to that with them. Okay, this is the digital optimization one, and it's one that is on a lot of business owners' minds. Are we being efficient enough? There's a lot of technology out there, but are we making the best use of it? Are we being efficient in our business? And it's a question that they'll have in the back of their head if they know it or not. So you could talk about maybe the example of having an SSDs in the entire workforce. So if you're still using spinning hard drives, this is why they're bad, and this is why you should be going to SSDs. There's obviously the time, there's also the backup thing as well. If the hard drive fails, it's harder to get the information off of. Productive apps. So this is what we're talking about, apps that are going to drive efficiency. So a really good example is something like the Calendly app. So if you're scheduling a lot of meetings, you could use the Calendly app and you're just sending a URL so you're not having to email back and forth. So it's those productive apps that save a lot of time. You can have a video about that, an app of the week video or something like that talks 2 minutes about an app. That's an awesome one. And you could do that continuously because there's so many apps out there, but you want to obviously have the ones that are appropriate for business owners and their workforce. And then removing the tedious. So this would potentially be a video about, okay, looking at the manual processes within your business, the ones that are tedious and the ones that could potentially be automated. So maybe someone's doing something in an Excel spreadsheet on a daily basis, and you could actually just set up something like a Microsoft Flow to that spreadsheet and it would be done a lot quicker. So you could talk about an example about removing the tedious, and it is actually going into the detail in the video about, here's an example of how we helped client A take away this manual process in the business and we put it into a digital world and we attached a Microsoft Flow or something like that. You might not have any examples, but it works better with an example. And then obviously they're going to be more confident about the tech and what they already have and what they're doing once you show them this. So these are just, it's really all of these pillars and these milestones are elevating you as the IT business owner or the MSP business owner to a place where you're perceived on video by this audience that you have online as being, wow, these guys really know their stuff. Look at all this, what they're talking about. And that is the perception you really want, because when it comes time to actually follow up, they're going to be much more willing to talk to you. Okay, so that is it for the milestones and the content ideas. More homework, create your own content ideas. Okay, I've given you some here and you can use them if you want. I've been speaking rather fast, but you really need to come up with your own ones as well, because you'll find that they'll be more aligned to your business and your potential customers. I'm only giving you ones because I know it can be a difficult challenge thinking about coming up with 30 videos. And to tell you the truth, the way that I do this, I don't sit down at the start of a month that I'm going to be doing video and then write all these down. I come up with these on the fly. But this process can help you plan it out. And it means that you've got the list there and you can just go run with it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot easier to hit that record button if at the start of day one, you've got your list and it's just a case of scoring them off one by one. It can make the process a lot easier. Bonus tip and pattern interrupt. I'm sure you can see the pattern interrupt in this slide. So the bonus tip basically is, again, it's about content. So if you're a member of IT Rockstars, you're already aware that you get that 4 blog posts every month and the lead magnet and the explainer video. You can use the content within those blog posts for your content. So they could be topics for videos, and it can maybe help you come up with some other ideas as well. So against those stepping stones. So it's really just a bonus tip. If you do have access to those 4 blog posts, then you're going to find it's going to be a lot easier to come up with content because we've already given you the content that you can talk about. And the cool thing with it is you can talk about that topic in the video, but then you can also say, hey, we wrote a whole entire article about this, and then under the video, here's the link. And just click on the link here to read the article. And it gives them a reason to actually go to your website or your LinkedIn, wherever you've published it. Oh, great. Okay, the most important piece of the whole academy is the offer. I should have probably put this in somewhere at the start of module 1. Certainly not at the very end of module 2 as I'm doing now. It's stuck into the course here, but it's extremely important. So you must listen up to this, and it's something you must do in all of your videos. If you don't do this step, you'll find that you're wasting your time doing video. So it's extremely important. So what is the offer? The offer is your call to action within your videos. So the call to action, to give you an example, if you've seen any of the videos that I do online, at the very start of the video, usually, I will say, hey, Scott from IT Rockstars, hope you're doing well. Before we start this video, if you're an IT business owner or a managed service provider and you want to generate more qualified leads, check out itrockstars.net. That's my offer right there, that piece of wording. That's like my 10-second elevator pitch that I put in. And it's a mention of the website, and it's my call to action in the video. It's the start of the sales process. So the videos themselves are the marketing process, okay? So it's the reputation building that you're doing in the videos and attracting potential customers. That's what you're doing in the videos. It's the whole marketing piece. But the offer is the segue into your sales process, okay? So they're 2 very separate things. You've got marketing and you've got sales. You start with the marketing to get the leads, and then it's actually the offer is the bit that takes that potential customer in your audience from someone watching your video to actually being a lead that will do something. And it's important because ideally you want them to go to your website, and there's a good reason for that, which we'll discuss in a future module. I think it's module 5 that will be covering that. So when do you use the offer? So if you see any of my videos, I will put my offer in at the start of the video. I usually have it at the middle of the video, so I'll have it somewhere in the video as well. I'll mention itrockstars.net and why they should go there. And I'll mention at the end, I'll go, and finally, again, if you are, or don't forget, if you are an IT or MSP business owner and you're looking to generate more qualified leads for your IT business, check out itrockstars.net. Okay, so I will put that in usually 3 times within the videos. I was speaking to a couple ad guys recently, and they were our marketing guys, and they were saying to me, Scott, why do you put it in at the very start of the video? Why are you not putting it just in at the end? The reason you put it at the very start is because most viewers will watch a video for at least 10 seconds. It's really good to actually have your offer in at the start, in at the middle, and in at the end, because not everyone will watch the end. Some people only watch the start, and there'll be some people that will get to about halfway through. Have it in at least 3 times, and you can pepper it in as many times as you want. I usually stick to the formula 2 or 3, and that works for me. How do you use the offer? So this is really about, okay, it almost is like an elevator pitch, and I'm going to show you some examples here in a second and what type of offers you would use for your IT business. But what is important and how you use the offer is the website address that you mentioned. Now, your current website might be difficult to pronounce, or it might be difficult for the person to type into their browser. One of the things with posting videos or any content onto Facebook, LinkedIn, or any social platforms is the social platforms actually promote, if you have the actual URL in as text in the description of the video, they will demote the video. They won't show it to as many people. So you don't want to actually put a link to the website in the description on the post of the video. You want to just mention it within the video. And it's direct referral source traffic. So people actually typing in, they are going to be your main source of leads into the system, into your system. But you want to have a website, as I mentioned, that is easy for people to type in and one that's easy for you to say. If you don't already have one, I would suggest coming up with one specifically just for your videos, and you can redirect that domain to your main website or to the page that you want them to go to. You want, as I say, you want something that's easy for people to type in. That's the main thing. And something that actually sounds cool as well can also help. So it could be something related to your offer, but keep it short and simple. That's what I would say. So here's the examples. So the offer, these are ones that I've come up with at the top of my head, literally in 5 minutes making this slide. If I run an IT business just now, these are some of the offers that I probably have in. So we'll just quickly go over them. So the first one here, IT budget calculator. That would be an offer around about, hey, you'd be probably attracting people that are worried about the spend in their IT. So, hey, do you know how the offer would be something like, how many staff work for your business? How many staff work for your business? You can use our IT budget calculator at xyzdomain.com to check out how much you should be paying for your IT services. And you could have a really simple form on that web page, and it would just state how many users you have, and it would spit out a number. You'd also want, obviously, the contact information there as well, so people will actually type in their contact details. Next one would be the free technology roadmap session. So all of these cool videos that you see us do here, we can help you as well. So if you don't already have a technology roadmap for your business, we're offering you one free of charge. Just go to this website address, and that would be your chance to schedule in a call. So it could go to a scheduling assistant where they would just actually choose what day they want you to come in and catch up for that technology roadmap session. Next one I've got here is that unfixable issue. So this would be one where they're maybe not happy with their current IT provider, and they're maybe not sure about their current IT provider. So the offer here would be, we will fix that unfixable problem in your IT. Everyone's got one, and you've been told that it's not fixable. We'd like to try and prove that wrong, and we'll do it free of charge. Okay, so you've got the opportunity there. The next one is just a lead magnet. So if you are a member of IT Rockstars, you get a lead magnet every month. So you could actually just use the lead magnet as your offer and have them type in their contact information on a page to be able to download that lead magnet. Next one we've got here as an example is the third eye audit. So this is a lot of business owners, or the way that I would frame this is, your current IT provider tells you you're secure, but are you really secure? You're paying them money to keep you secure, so they're going to tell you that you're secure, your technology stack is secure. We're offering a third eye audit of your IT security systems, and we will do a penetration test just to see how secure your systems are, all free of charge. Check it out at xyzdomain.com. And the last example I've got here is probably the one that I would like to do the most out of them all, and as we're offering you a free lunch. All that we ask is an hour of your time just to catch up and find out a little bit more about your business. But the offer is basically, we will bring pizza with us for your staff and for yourself. So it's literally on a Friday, you go around to this potential new client with a bunch of pizzas. You get to meet the staff, and you also get to find out a bit more about the business. So it's a little bit more not related to the IT. It's literally, we're offering you free pizza, and it's basically the opportunity to just come and say hello and meet the business owner and meet the staff. The cool thing actually with the pizza offer is the fact that there could be someone that maybe doesn't run the business. It might not be the business owner that's watching the videos, but is a big fan. So it could be the office manager, and they see this offer and they go, oh, that'd be a really good idea. We should get them around. So that would be the better one, and it's a good approach to use as well. I quite like it. So these are examples, as I mentioned, that I've come up with at the top of my head. Be interested to see what your offer is. What I've got down at the bottom of the slide here is how to form your offer. Really, the offer should be asking the question, okay, what do they really want, and what is the why behind why they want it? If you can have a think about that with your current client base, and you can form an offer around that strategy, or that logic, sorry, you'll find that you'll come up with a good offer, basically. So that's the offers. Next, overcoming the fear. So I had to readdress this again, basically, because we have this challenge coming up, overcoming the fear of going live on video. Now, we already talked about the little boy hiding under the bed and missing this massive opportunity at the time. And that was my metaphoric story. Another metaphor here is a bit of plaster band-aid situations. You've had that plaster on your arm for a couple of days and the cut's fine now, and you really have to pull the plaster off, and you know it's going to hurt. But you just pull it off and there's a bit of pain for about 5 seconds, if not less. But once it's off, it's fine. It's the same as going live on video. There will be pain, but it won't last long, and you will have a great achievement at the end of that 90 or 2 minutes of talking to the camera. I know when I started going live on videos, I didn't mind Facebook so much because I was going live on my Facebook page. So it was just people following the IT Rockstars Facebook page. So that was easy. The hard bit for me, or the bit that I had apprehension, was taking the video and putting it on LinkedIn. And I think it was because it was more of that professional audience. They were going to perceive me a certain way, and I had all these thoughts in my head of that perception and what it was going to be and what people were going to think of me, and what it could do actually for my business and for my career, and what was going to happen there. But it was the best move that I have ever done. I can tell you that right now, and that's why we have the MSP Video Academy. Get your head around this though. When you post a video up, a third of the people won't notice the video, okay? That is a fact. It probably won't even be seen. The video won't be seen. For one reason or another, the algorithm, even if they like your page or you're connected with them on LinkedIn or wherever, they're just not going to see the video. They won't notice it, or they'll flick right past it on their phone, okay? Then there's going to be a third of people that won't care. So they may know you, and they may see your face, and they may see you talking, but they really don't care what you've got to say. They're the people, that is the general rule. Everyone thinks about what themselves and what other people are going to think about them, but most people just don't care. They're more worried about themselves. And then there's the last third. That's the people that are going to start loving your videos. So what you're going to start putting out there, people are going to love. Not only because it's helping them, but because they're just going to love what you're doing. Now, a really good example of this is Marmite. So it's a yeast extract here in the UK. People either love it or hate it, okay? That is the rule with it. I love it. I love Marmite. If you're in Australia, Vegemite, similar. I don't know if there's one equivalent in the US. It's definitely worth trying out. But there is that filter within the videos. People either love what you're doing. They won't necessarily hate it. There will probably be a few people that will hate it. So they're more than likely your competitors. But people will either love it or they'll just be turned off by what you're doing. But that's fine, because there's enough. If you have an audience, so if your audience is 100, 30 of those people are going to love what you're doing. I can guarantee it. So you just got to go and do it and pull off that plaster. So the challenge. Go live once. This is your homework for next week. You must go live at least once. You've spent a lot of money on this course, okay? So this is the accountability. Now, this is the reality of the situation. We have given you a lot of content ideas. We've given you some examples of an offer. I want you to go live at least once on video. Now, go live on Facebook, download that video potentially, and then upload it to LinkedIn. We'll show you later on actually how that's done from a technical point of view. But I want you to go live at least once on video. And if you can't go live, I want you to have at least recorded a video and posted it somewhere online for people to see, okay? That is the homework. We have a catch-up call next week. The scheduling is on this page that you're watching this video. You can schedule your catch-up call on there. As part of the catch-up call, we will be reviewing this video. So I will have a look because we can do this internet thing. We can go onto your page, your Facebook page or your LinkedIn, and we can see that video or we can see it missing. So we will be looking out for the video before the call. And I will personally review the video and I will poke some holes in it. I'll check to see where those holes are. I will give you the good and the bad. I will be critical, but I will be honest of what I think of the video and what could be improved. So it's crucial that you do this step because you've paid a lot of money, and it's crucial that you follow up next week and actually have the call with me so that we can review it. Okay, so this is where the real value of the academy is coming in now. So I don't want you to waste it. Module 3, 2 weeks from now, it's going to be technical. So it's going to be lights, camera, action. It's best practices when it comes to recording. I'm going to be speaking to someone rather special about the technical setup. So we'll see you there. But that's your homework. I'm going to leave it there for today. Hope you found this video useful. Any feedback, you know where to give it. Let me come out here now.